good? Get my mic closer. This bees your girl Divine Karma coming in with the reading. Because that's what I do. How y'all doing? I send you peace, light, love, and harmony. As I always do about this time. Why? Because Divine Karma loves you, baby. Got my hair done other day. Um, Had to take a break. Y'all know how it be. I was burnt out between work and readings and clients and man, had to take a little break, all right? But how y'all bees, right? Topic today. Is it boundaries or is it bush, right? We always hear these conversations. Spirit speak to me, through me, and for me about boundaries, about setting boundaries, right? And most of the time you get in relationships and things of that nature. In the first, a lot of times, or friendships, is, we need to set some boundaries, right? And that's cool because boundaries need to be set, right? If you think about boundaries, you think about, hey, this is the space, right? Let's not cross those boundaries because that's uncomfortable for me, right? And it's understood, right? But when you're dealing with a friendship or a relationship or, marriage or whatever have you, right? Like you have to define whether it's boundaries or somebody trying to control you or trying to control the situation that you and the person are in, right? For instance, is it boundaries or is it bullshit, right? Prime example. If you're seeing somebody or dating somebody or whatever y'all doing, right? And they say something like, we need to set some boundaries. I'm not really comfortable with, you know, you dropping by my house unannounced. Okay. But they drop by your house unannounced, right? And y'all are exclusive. Everybody knows y'all together, right? But then they get you with this boundary. So I ask of you, is it boundary or is it bush, right? Because people will use boundaries as a mechanism of control. All right. That's just an instance. Now, a safe boundary is something like, you dating somebody and they have a past trauma, right? And maybe they, went to therapy for it and have dealt with it and, have moved on past it. And they tell you, I got boundaries. That's something that, I moved on from. I did my shadow work. It ain't something that I, really want to talk about a lot. I feel like I've accomplished what I needed to and moved on. I don't want it to be a trigger for me. Those are boundaries. Understood. Boundaries are bush, right? That's a boundary. You know, I don't really get along with, a person might say, I don't have the best relationship with my brother, right? So I don't, my boundaries, like, really don't invite him to the family functions because we have a history and, da 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 da. You know, that's a boundary, right? Boundary of bullshit. That's a boundary, right? Now, give you another one. I'm just throwing out scenario so you'll know. You dating somebody, hanging out, y'all doing what you do, right? They hit you with, I have this boundary. I don't, um, I don't have my phone on. When I'm around you, I leave my phone on vibrate. It's on silence. It's just, that's a boundary I have about, not being disturbed or whatever when we together. That's a boundary, that I set. It's a boundary or is it bush? Right? You have to distinguish which side of the fence that you on because people will use the boundary rule as a way to manipulate, as a way to control, as a way to not let you know who you dealing with for real because you might be dealing with a peasant that is disguising themselves as a king or a god body, right? And especially, my spiritual folk. Let me tell you something. I ain't never heard the word boundary so much when I was unconscious, right? Not awake, not enlightened. It's something that I hear frequently all the time now, especially in the conscious community about, setting boundaries, setting boundaries. Boundaries is okay. But it ain't okay when your boundaries is not reciprocal with how I treat you. You feel me? So if I go above and beyond for you, you can't tell me, "Oh, I got boundaries. That's too much for me." No, 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 no. That's not how this works. It's called reciprocity in a friendship or relationship, right? You have to determine, especially like I said, in the spiritual and the conscious community, baby. These boundary conversations then got out of control because there are spiritual people using boundaries as manipulation and lies and deceit all the way around the board, right? And like I said, there's some instances, like if you people have triggers. I understand that, and those are boundaries for people. These are this is my boundary, whether they've worked on this trigger or not, right? Some people haven't, is some things are still a trigger from them for them, and they might be trying to work on it. Understood. That's a boundary, right? But when that boundary is causing you and I not to have a reciprocal and energy, reciprocity in our energy exchange in our friendship or relationship, right? No, that's not a boundary. That's bush, right? That's we gonna call that, what it is. And in the spiritual community, enlightened community, conscious community, whatever you want to call it, you will find this to be so true. It's a lot of folks out here claiming to be conscious and awakened and enlightened, right? And they can talk the talk. We'll have a whole conversation with you. Y'all could talk for hours and be, talk about all the spiritual things under the planet, right? But if you and this person are having some kind of energy exchange, whether it's, dating or a relationship or whatever have you, right? They can talk all they want to. At the end of the conversation, if that boundary gets put up, right, and their reciprocity is not there, that is a red flag. You need to realize that this is bush and not a boundary, right? So that's my message on today. And y'all know me, when I speak a lot of things, I speak from experience, right? Because I have had the boundary conversation come up, with friendships and whatnot. And I had to sit back and say, I don't think that's a boundary. I think that's some bull crap. People will use boundaries because they don't want to be accountable for their part of the friendship or relationship. People will use boundaries to keep you at bay, right? So they don't have to put in as much as you do, right? You have to know these are red flags. You have to pay attention to, what is it, a boundary or is it bullshit, right? All right. This is what I have for you. Y'all know the drill. This is your girl, Divine Karma. I love you, and I love it when you love me back. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.